The knife that will stab you is never coming from the front. You spend your entire life building walls to keep your enemies out, completely blind to the fact that you already invited your destroyers inside. You need to wake up to reality. Your biggest betrayal is never coming from the enemy you are actively watching. It is coming from the person you are actively protecting. You think it is the act of betrayal that ruins a man. It isn't. It is never the betrayal itself that hurts. It is who it came from that breaks the psychological spine. You know exactly what your enemy wants. You know where they stand. But a false friend lives inside your walls. The most dangerous people in your life don't carry knives. They carry friendship. They carry smiles, shared memories, and favors. They use your trust as a Trojan horse to quietly map your weaknesses. You believe that time builds loyalty, but you are failing to see that as people change, as money shifts, and as power dynamics alter, the person cheering for you today will easily sell you out tomorrow. Niccolò Machiavelli was a ruthless observer of power. He understood human nature at its absolute darkest level, exposing the ugly realities of human behavior that polite society tries desperately to hide. He did not write comforting lies about how people should act. He wrote about exactly how they are. He understood a terrifying law of survival. A false friend is infinitely more dangerous than a true enemy. You never see the strike coming until the blade is already in your back. He observed that friends often turn to be your enemies later on. In the cold mechanics of the real world, every friend is a potential enemy. You must accept the harshest truth of all. Most friends are just enemies who haven't betrayed you yet. This is why you must pick your friends. Do not let them pick you. Today, we are stripping the masks off the people sitting at your table. We are going to expose the 6 specific types of people in your life right now who are structurally guaranteed to betray you before your enemies ever get the chance. These are not strangers. These are the people you text, the people you help, and the people you trust. Pay close attention. If you fail to recognize them now, you are voluntarily handing them the blade. 1. The resentful beneficiary. You are currently paying for a crime you didn't know you committed. The crime of being a savior. You look at the person you pulled out of the dirt, the friend whose rent you paid, the cousin you got a job, the protege you mentored for free, and you expect loyalty. You think that because you were the bridge they used to cross from failure to success, they will always respect your position. You are wrong. In the cold, calculating world of human nature, your kindness didn't buy a friend, it bought a debt. And for a weak mind, a debt is a cage. Every time that person looks at you, they don't see a hero. They see the man who watched them crawl. They see a living, breathing record of the version of themselves they are trying desperately to forget. You didn't save them. You accidentally became the witness to their shame. The person you pulled out of the fire is currently looking for the exact spot to push you in. You think that by saving someone's life, paying their debts, or providing them a path when they were standing on the edge of a cliff, you have secured a permanent ally. You believe that your kindness has created a bond that cannot be broken. You are dead wrong. In the cold, surgical world of power, your kindness didn't create a friend, it created a creditor. Every time that person looks at you, they don't see a savior. They see a witness to their most pathetic and powerless moment. Your very existence is a living, breathing testimony to the fact that they were weak and you were strong. For a weak mind, that is a humiliation they will eventually kill to erase. You've lived through this scenario and ignored the signs. Think about the friend you helped get a job when they were months behind on rent. Think about the cousin you bailed out of trouble when no one else would take the call. At first, there were tears. There was the "I'll never forget this" and the "I owe you everything." But look closely at what happened next. Slowly, the phone calls stopped being about gratitude and started being about space. Then came the subtle, backhanded comments about your success. Then came the realization that they were talking behind your back, telling people that you forced your help on them or that your support came with too many strings. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone who has ever tried to sell you a book on empathy. He knew that men are quicker to avenge an injury than to repay a benefit. Why? Because gratitude is a burden, but revenge is a pleasure. Gratitude is a weight that sits on the chest of the beneficiary. It reminds them that they are indebted. It reminds them that they are lower than you on the hierarchy of competence. To a person with an fragile ego, that debt feels like a leash. They don't want to be your partner. They want to stop feeling like your project. And the only way they can reclaim their psychological sovereignty, the only way they can feel like a self-made man, is to destroy the person who made them. You think you were being a hero. You were actually building a hitman for your own reputation. Every dollar you gave them, every hour you spent listening to their failures, and every bridge you built for them was another reason for them to hate you. You were feeding a parasite that has now grown strong enough to bite the hand that kept it alive. They will betray you, not because you treated them poorly, but because you treated them too well. They will justify their betrayal by convincing themselves and everyone else that you are a manipulator, that your help was actually a trap, and that they were the real victim all along. They have to make you the villain, so they don't have to face the fact that they were the loser you had to save. Stop playing the savior. You are not a rescue mission, and life is not a charity ward. When you pull someone out of the mud, you get mud on yourself. If you continue to provide life support for people who refuse to breathe on their own, you aren't being noble, you are being a fool. You are providing the resources for your own execution. The moment they no longer need your support, they will turn that support into a weapon. They will use the intimate knowledge they gained of your life while you were helping them to find the exact gap in your armor. They know your bank account, they know your insecurities, and they know your schedule. You gave them the blueprints to your fortress because you thought they were a guest. They were always a scout for your downfall. If you think the person you saved is dangerous because of their resentment, wait until you meet the one who uses their own pain to put a collar around your neck. You haven't seen true destruction until you encounter the person who has turned their suffering into a professional career. 2. The professional victim. You are being hunted by a person who uses their own tears as a weapon of mass destruction. The professional victim is the most dangerous predator in your circle because they are the only ones who can destroy your reputation while making the world feel sorry for them. They didn't enter your life with a threat. They entered with a wound. They told you how every ex-partner was a monster, how every former boss was a tyrant, and how every friend they've ever had eventually turned their back on them. You, in your infinite arrogance, thought you were different. You thought your empathy and your strength could finally be the thing to fix their broken world. You didn't realize that you weren't being chosen as a savior, you were being cast as the next villain in their never-ending tragedy. Listen to the way they talk about their past. If everyone they have ever met is toxic, the toxicity isn't in their history, it is in their hands. The professional victim is a covert narcissist who uses vulnerability to bypass your psychological defenses. They use their suffering to gain unearned access to your resources, your time, and your secrets. They trade on pity because they have no value to offer. While you are working, building, and taking responsibility for your life, they are busy curating a narrative of helplessness. They don't want to solve their problems, they want to use their problems to control you. The moment you stop being their emotional life support system, you become the enemy. Think about the accountability trap you find yourself in every time you try to speak the truth to this person. You bring up a legitimate grievance, a missed deadline, a broken promise, or a blatant lie, and within 30 seconds, the conversation is no longer about their mistake. It is about how your tone hurt their feelings. It is about how stressed they are. Suddenly, you are the one apologizing. You are the one comforting the person who just betrayed you. This is strategic emotional hijacking. They weaponize their fragility to ensure they are never held responsible for their actions. They are never wrong. They are only ever hurting. And as long as they are hurting, they have a license to do whatever they want to you. Consider the smear campaign that is already being prepared against you. The professional victim knows that their power lies in the court of public opinion. While they are smiling in your face and taking your help, they are planting seeds of doubt in the minds of your mutual friends. They drop subtle hints about your temper or your controlling nature. They are setting the stage so that when they finally betray you, the world is already primed to believe them. When you finally reach your breaking point and cut them off, they won't tell people the truth. They will go to the very people you value and cry genuine tears about how you abandoned them in their darkest hour. They will burn your name to the ground just to keep their halo intact. You are currently subsidizing a person who is addicted to being a victim. They need a crisis to feel significant, and if they can't find one, they will manufacture one out of your actions. They are the common denominator in a lifetime of chaos, yet they claim absolute innocence. You are not being supportive by staying. You are being a fool. You are providing the audience and the resources for a performance that is designed to end with your destruction. Machiavelli knew that you cannot negotiate with a person who finds power in their own weakness. They will stay in the victim role as long as it gets them what they want. The only way to win is to stop playing the hero. You need to recognize the vulnerability weapon for what it is. When someone overshares their trauma within days of meeting you, they are not being brave. They are performing an extraction. They are triggering your protective instinct so they can move in close enough to find your jugular. Real strength is quiet. Real trauma is handled with dignity. The person who broadcasts their wounds is looking for a host. They don't want a friend, they want a shock absorber. They want someone they can blame for their next inevitable failure. You are currently the primary suspect in a crime they haven't even committed yet. The hard truth you are avoiding is that you enjoy the feeling of being the strong one. You like being the person who can handle them. This is your own ego leading you to the slaughter. You believe your intellect makes you immune to their manipulation, but their manipulation doesn't target your mind, it targets your heart. By the time your brain realizes you're being used, your heart will already be held hostage by guilt. You must develop the coldness to walk away from a crying person who is systematically draining your life. If you don't, you will wake up one day and realize that you have no reputation, no resources, and no peace, while they have moved on to their next